Welcome to Jags A.M. this Wednesday. I'm Kainani Stevens. Brian Sexton and John Ogier are with me today. We're going to talk about the Jaguars preparing this week to take on the Vikings here at Everbank Stadium. But first, the trade deadline came and went yesterday. So we will start off with big thing number one, which is deadline day. Originally, many people considering that the Jaguars were going to be sellers, but actually buyers, as they're bringing in quarterback C.J. Beathard. Brian, this is someone that's familiar with this program, but adding to the quarterback room probably wasn't something we thought was going to happen.
Well, an indication, obviously, that the shoulder that has been bothering Trevor Lawrence since Sunday, the hit that he took in the game in Philadelphia, might be an issue, John. I don't think you'd go and bring C.J. Beathard back into your quarterback room. I mean, because they've got to sign him from the practice squad to the active roster for 3 games. You wouldn't make that move if you didn't think there wasn't a chance that you might need him.
Yeah, and if you're doing this, C.J. Anderson makes sense. He knows the playbook. You bring him in. It certainly makes Trevor Lawrence a storyline the rest of the week. I'm not particularly surprised that they didn't make any other moves. They'd already made moves. They'd already traded Cam Robinson and Roe Robertson-Harris, which were the 2 ones that made the most sense. If we get a chance to see Mac Jones, which it might, that's the storyline for the rest of the week. It will be an interesting week around here.
Well, you remember last year, Kai, that the litany of injuries, right? It was the ankle, the knee, he had the concussion in the shoulder. I mean, Trevor Lawrence didn't practice, tried to play in most of those games. I think the only game he didn't play was the game after the Buccaneers game, the Panthers game. But he had a laundry list of injuries, John, and tried to make a go of it.
Well, if he can play, he'll play. I also think it, calls into discussion how much he was sore, how much he was bothered last week. He was the last guy who came out of the tunnel in the second half on Sunday. You do wonder what kind of pain he was in, what he was playing through on Sunday. Knowing Trevor, we'll never know that.
And he did play through that. It's a good point to mention whatever injury. Probably the first half we saw him play better in the second half. And actually, Trevor talked post-game about any injuries he was dealing with.
We're all a little beat up this time of the year, but relatively all right. So we'll kind of assess, obviously, tomorrow morning. Some soreness sets in, and we'll see what we're dealing with. But, was able to finish the game and felt okay. And I know there's a lot of guys dealing with stuff, and we just got to keep pushing through. It's that time of the year, middle of the season, and it's tough.
It's Trevor Lawrence post-game against the Eagles. Well, that's something we'll keep an eye on, see what he battles through this week. Big thing number 2, going to be strength to weakness. Other injuries in that game to the offensive line. Went into the week thinking that was probably a strength of the team, but after trading away Cam Robinson and some of the injuries suffered against the Eagles, now one of the areas of need maybe. Anton Harrison talked about some of the losses.
We stay together. From the beginning, we all together. We all got each other back. We trust in everybody. So that's why when guys go down, we trust in the guys that's coming up and going to play. So just things like that helps a lot and makes things easier. But we just all go out there and just play 100%. Every try to go, every play, every snap 100%, and then see what happens.
John, Anton Harrison talking about himself. He had a knee injury, came back into the game. Brandon Sheriff's been playing through injury as well. The offensive line, they've been dealing with a lot. Lost Cooper Hodges as well.
Well, it's funny. In this league, depth is depth until it's not. And I
think you've said that before.
It felt like a deep, cohesive group 2 weeks ago. And now it feels like a thin group that's got to learn to play together. So your quarterback's out, your wide receiver, Christian Kirk's out. Boy, what a difference 3 weeks make. It's going to test the offensive line. And I'm not sure what to expect because we're still going to be looking at Ezra Cleveland on the injury report this week. Mm-hmm. I would think Brandon Sheriff plays, Brian, but it's that time of year in that type of season.
Well, I hope Anton plays. I mean, this is a guy who was battling a knee injury, and it looked at times like he was struggling to move. He did finish, just like he played all last year, with the shoulder injury. And talk about Sheriff on the right side of that offensive line, too. Played with foot and ankle, and now he's playing with a knee. So they have a lot of issues, and they face a Vikings front that has 27 sacks. They have 3 players with at least 5, so they can come from a lot of different places. The focus is going to be on getting, Blake Hance and
Cole Van
Lannon and anybody else that they can pull up from the practice squad ready to go because they're perilously thin.
All right, our final big thing is going to be so close yet so far. With these losses, obviously very frustrating, but the Jaguars seemingly are right there, having a chance late in these games. Doug Peterson talked about that frustration of being close yet far away.
You just never know when those plays are going to come, and those moments are going to come in the game. And so your awareness as a coach, your awareness as a player, we got to be on the same page. We got to communicate all those things. But it does encourage you that you can play with these guys, and quite frankly, you eliminate a few mistakes. We don't give them 13 points off of turnovers, and the week before we don't give them 14 points off of turnovers. Things could be different.
Brian, I know that was your question to Doug and kind of got a loaded answer back, but it is frustrating because you feel like they're so close.
Well, it's why I said at the end of Monday's show, I think this is the breakthrough week coming here. The Jaguars are at home. It's salute to service. They've been close the last 2 weeks against two really good teams, the Packers and the Eagles. Now, injuries notwithstanding, and we've got a quarterback that we've got to talk about as well. I just felt like down 22-0, and then they got a play that went their way, and they battled back. And Devon Hamilton made that key third down tackle that forced the 57-yard field goal, and he had a shot. I felt like this was a team that was close, and I got the sense Doug did too.
I hope they are. It's a funny team over the last 3 years. They tried to learn how to win early in 2022, and then they learned how to win and were a scrappy, gutty, end of the game team for about a season's worth of games, and now they're not. So are they close? Yes, they're close, but they've also been close 5 times this year and in every game. So what's going to be the thing that gets them over the top? Is it a break? Without the starting quarterback, you hope they have that kind of resiliency. And I don't want to be pessimistic, but 5 losses in the last 2 minutes, that's sort of their identity right now, and I don't know how you break that.
All right, stay with us here on Jags A.M. Coming up after the break, we'll go over a little this or that. We look at some potential changes coming up this week.
Navigating the current housing market and figuring out your best move when it comes to a mortgage isn't your full-time job, but it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's where the experts at Jet Home Loans get into the game and coach you to your ultimate goal of getting not just the right loan, but the perfect loan for you, the home of your dreams. Jet Home Loans works with you all the way, from application to closing, making sure your game plan is perfect. Make the call to Jet Home Loans and let their team join your team to make your dreams take flight. Visit jethl.com.
Ranked as the nation's best public university by the Wall Street Journal, the University of Florida is on a mission to transform education. UF continues to help grow the economy through research breakthroughs and leadership in AI. And with its nationally recognized career services, UF students and graduates have never been better prepared to make a difference in the world. To learn more about how the University of Florida fuels bold ideas that make an impact around the globe, visit fromflorida.ufl.edu.
Are you ready for a taste bud touchdown? Well, Jags fans, if you're at the bank and craving a snack that's shell-shockingly good, look no further than Luray Peanut Company's boiled peanuts. Picture this, you in the stands, cheering on your Jaguars, and in one hand, a bag of piping hot boiled peanuts. With original or Cajun to choose from, they're so delicious, you'll wonder where they've been all your life. So grab them while they're hot and get back to the game. And as always, Duval! Luray boiled peanuts, where every nut is a winner.
Hey Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey sponsor of the NFL, it's not kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why they've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more. Please drink responsibly.
check this out. The new iPhone 16 built for Apple Intelligence. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. Trade in any phone from one of our top brands for the new iPhone 16 with Unlimited Ultimate. Plus, get a new iPad. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
Are you ready for some football? Well, you are now, thanks to Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL, Ticketmaster's got the best way to take it to the house when it comes to being there live. They're the safest and most convenient marketplace to score fully verified Jaguars tickets. And even if your plans get broken up or worse, turned over, Ticketmaster gives you more flexibility to sell your seats. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Jags A.M. brought to you in part by Fields Auto Group, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. You can go to fieldsauto.com to check it out.
This or that. This or that.
Welcome back into Jags A.M. Some injuries suffered for this Jaguars team against the Eagles, so some more changes. We also saw some changes due to the injuries the week before that. So let's talk a little this or that. I looked at some of the snap counts. I talked yesterday. I thought Trayvon Walker should have been playing a bit more. I just want to see him on the field. But also some of the numbers that stuck out to me were Brenton Strange and Montaric Brown, both of them playing limited amounts, and I think I was surprised by both of those things, but I didn't know if either of you were surprised by either of those or felt like one or both of them should get some more playing time.
Well, surprised by Strange, but again, this offense plays based on looks and what they think they're going to get from the defense. So it seemed they would go more 12 personnel, meaning two tight ends, after they had success with it the week before, and considering they were down some Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis at receiver. But evidently the looks, what they thought they were going to get from the Eagles defense, they went with a lot of their normal situations, and as a result, Brenton played 9 snaps. I don't think based on what Doug said Monday, sometimes situations like that, Brian, get away from the coaches during the games just because you're trying to, hey, what's our best play here? What do we like best here? And all of a sudden you look up and realize you've been in this personnel package that you thought, and you didn't get Brenton Strange in. That's sort of how this staff goes about it. They go about it based on what are our best looks, not necessarily how can we get X guy the ball. They like it to happen organically. And I think that's what happened with Brenton Strange, although I think they would like to have that over.
If people are wondering why we're talking about the backup tight end not getting enough snaps, I don't know if they have followed the storyline. Brenton Strange has become a really key player.
Right.
He finishes blocks. He's not just a guy who can catch the ball. He's a tempo setter for you. Really, he's a really good football player and the kind of guy that you feel confident in where his career is headed. So yeah, 12 snaps or 9 snaps, just not enough for him. The other guy was Brown, and to be honest, I thought when Campbell came back, Brown would go to the other side of the field, and you just go with him. Nothing against Darby, but he's an older guy, and you saw last week, the Eagles went right at him.
Yeah.
You know, third series, key third down, a 20-yard pickup. I mean, they said A.J. Brown had said, go find the old guy. And he did, right? And the 46-yarder and the touchdown, it was Darby. I'm not sure that Montaric Brown is a shutdown corner. I just think he's a young player with a lot more upside, and I want to see more from him. I'm going to ride with him or Trey Prince. Give me those young legs out there to chase those guys.
Yeah, they've sort of stuck to this when they make changes like that. They're going to rotate it in, and they're going to sort of make it so this is not the reason, but so that it's not really noticeable that you're making a change. But look, at some point, you need to play the guys you drafted, the young guys that you're developing at some point.
At 2 and 7.
It feels like this point.
Yeah, 2 and 7 in particular, where the playoffs are not in focus. Your focus has to be on developing your roster and making sure that these guys that you brought in here can play. Now, the coaches are going to argue with that. They always do. They only think very, week to week That's their job. The personnel folks are the ones that are saying, hey, let's talk about where this thing is headed. So I kind of understand both sides of the argument, but I just happen to think that Montaric Brown and Trey Prince give you more than Ronald Darby does.
I agree. I think you need to see them develop, and they also give you a better chance right now. So I agree with you. Montaric Brown, I was surprised to see his snap count.
He's been a good player for you this year.
I agree. Another question. We saw Austin Trammell get activated to the roster and then had that unfortunate incident on the very first kick of the game. So for me, do you want to see Parker back on special teams a little bit? I guess the thought was he'll be so involved in the offense he can't do both. I'd like to see him back doing that just for my own sanity's sake, but what do you guys think?
I'll be quick. 96-yard punt return is the longest punt return touchdown in Jaguars history. Yes, give me Parker Washington back there. Maybe Trammell's a guy who's got the ability to do that and just had a bad play. Okay, I've seen it from Parker.
Yeah, it was going to be Parker's first start. I'm sure there was going to be a lot for him on offense. And they wanted to make sure that they didn't overload him for a day. But, sometimes guys make the team and are involved with you because they're the best guys to be involved with you and be on the team.
By the way, I like Trammell. I enjoyed watching him play, and they went to him on that key.
And he picked up after that happened, to have that happen the first play and to bounce back.
So maybe give him, he's probably a better route runner at this point in his career than Parker is. Maybe give him more snaps on offense. Let Parker handle the big explosiveness.
All right, stay with us here on Jags A.M. Coming up after the break, we'll talk a little bit about what's going on in the division.
We need to define a great deal in today's new home market because the so-called great deals that you find on every corner just aren't the same as the incredible opportunities you'll find with a new Dreamfinders home. How about 2.99% in year one in one of Dreamfinder's 15 communities across North Florida? Now that's a great deal. 2.99% interest rate in year one and a beautiful new Dreamfinders home. Visit dfhsalesevent.com for our largest savings of the year on move-in ready homes. That's dfhsalesevent.com.
When disaster strikes, trust the experts at ServPro. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they bring the same dedication and precision to restoring your property as the Jaguars do on the field. Whether it's water, fire, or storm damage, their highly trained professionals are on call 24/7 to make it like it never even happened. ServPro, your local leader in restoration and cleanup.
Hey Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey sponsor of the NFL, it's not kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why they've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more. Please drink responsibly.
Jacksonville builders score big with DL Cabinetry. As the official cabinet supplier of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they offer top-quality kitchen and bathroom cabinetry for any project. Enjoy fast turnaround, complimentary design, and great prices. Visit dlcabinetry.com today to learn more and to become a dealer. Limited spots available. DL Cabinetry, the winning choice for builders.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with Everbank. Open an Everbank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. Everbank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Are you ready for a taste bud touchdown? Well, Jags fans, if you're at the bank and craving a snack that's shell-shockingly good, look no further than Luray Peanut Company's boiled peanuts. Picture this, you in the stands, cheering on your Jaguars, and in one hand, a bag of piping hot boiled peanuts. With original or Cajun to choose from, they're so delicious, you'll wonder where they've been all your life. So grab them while they're hot and get back to the game. And as always, Duval! Luray boiled peanuts, where every nut is a winner.
For 11 years, Dreamfinders Homes have been proud to call themselves the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for all of the available inventory and go Jags. Welcome back to Jags A.M. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the division because things are not great for everybody either. So let's all commiserate a little bit together. The Titans, though, did get a win over the Patriots, another franchise. There's a lot of 2-7 teams out there. Titans, Mason Rudolph's been in there for a little bit, so interesting to see what they're going to end up doing there.
Well, he's been in because Levis has been injured.
Yes, but I am curious what they might end up doing with that because it wasn't going great before that.
Right. If you're Brian Callahan, that's the balance you have, right? And you want to win some games and instill the sense of what you're trying to build there. At the same time, if Will Levis isn't your guy...
I mean, he came in with... Will Levis was there already, so it wasn't like he picked him.
Right.
Yeah.
But you got to know what you got. Sure. And how are you going to find that out if Mason Rudolph is playing?
Well, if you're Brian Callahan, too, in this day and age, and I'm not privy to what's going on in Tennessee, but it's a much quicker trigger world in the NFL. You don't want to go 1-16.
Right.
You know, and I'm not saying they will, but you want to get a couple of wins because so much of the decision making now from some owners is, does it feel like you're going in the right direction? So if you're a first-year head coach, you want to get a few so that it looks okay, so that you're there in a second year. So because there's not necessarily a 5-year plan, 5-year contract league anymore. So I would think there's a little bit of, hey, we got to get some wins.
You want players to buy in, for sure, to what you're doing. And you look at what Baker Mayfield has done. What is this now? His 4th team, and Sam Darnold in Minnesota. He's on his 4th team in 7 NFL seasons. So maybe you think you can go find another veteran after this season.
Another quarterback questions as well. In Indianapolis, we saw the Colts decided they were going to go with Joe Flacco instead of Anthony Richardson after some issues with him, but then they had their worst offensive performance of the season with Joe Flacco in there. So bears to mention, maybe it's not just the quarterback, there's some other issues going on there as well.
Well, we saw firsthand with Joe Flacco, last year when he had a great defense, how well he could play. And obviously the situation there is not as good in Indy as it was in Cleveland for him last year. And at some point, a guy who's 15, 16 years in the league starts to show, well, there's a reason why I was sitting on my couch. I was really good when you needed me for 3 or 4 games, right? But if you need me to be the guy the rest of the way, I might not be your guy.
Well, in his bad game came against the Vikings, who are good, and guess what? They're coming to town. Look, if we're looking at the division right now as the Jags, realistically, the Jags are not going to win the division this year. So you're thinking about what does this mean for teams in the long haul? Flacco, Anthony Richardson, whatever for the Colts, what they had to figure out is, do they believe in Anthony Richardson going forward? And it's funny how quickly times change in the NFL. This offseason, you looked at this division and thought, well, there's a division with 4 young quarterbacks who are all ascending, and most divisions don't have 4 ascending young quarterbacks because it's a hard league to play the position in. And the AFC South doesn't seem to either.
Yep, seems to.
The NFC North does.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Now, stay with us here. We'll talk a little bit about what's coming up the rest of the week as the Jaguars prepare to take on the Vikings.
Navigating the current housing market and figuring out your best move when it comes to a mortgage isn't your full-time job, but it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's where the experts at Jet Home Loans get into the game and coach you to your ultimate goal of getting not just the right loan, but the perfect loan for you, the home of your dreams. Jet Home Loans works with you all the way, from application to closing, making sure your game plan is perfect. Make the call to Jet Home Loans and let their team join your team to make your dreams take flight. Visit jethl.com.
Jacksonville builders score big with DL Cabinetry. As the official cabinet supplier of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they offer top-quality kitchen and bathroom cabinetry for any project. Enjoy fast turnaround, complimentary design, and great prices. Visit dlcabinetry.com today to learn more and to become a dealer. Limited spots available. DL Cabinetry, the winning choice for builders.
When disaster strikes, trust the experts at Surf Pro. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they bring the same dedication and precision to restoring your property as the Jaguars do on the field. Whether it's water, fire, or storm damage, their highly trained professionals are on call 24/7 to make it like it never even happened. Surf Pro, your local leader in restoration and cleanup.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Check this out, the new iPhone 16 built for Apple Intelligence. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. Trade in any phone from one of our top brands for the new iPhone 16 with unlimited Ultimate. Plus, get a new iPad. Trade in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
Are you ready for some football? Well, you are now, thanks to Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL, Ticketmaster's got the best way to take it to the house when it comes to being there live. They're the safest and most convenient marketplace to score fully verified Jaguars tickets. And even if your plans get broken up or worse, turned over, Ticketmaster gives you more flexibility to sell your seats. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Jags fans, if you want customized Jaguars furniture for your home, check out zipchair.com to browse all the customizable options. ZipChair is furniture for fans. And also this weekend's Jaguars versus Vikings game is delivered by CSX. CSX, how tomorrow moves.
We got to put one in the end zone. Come on. We got to put one in the end zone. Hey, hell of a play, Six. Hell of a play. Let's put a draw together. Come on. Yep. Oh, yeah, good work, boy.
The Jags trail by 12, 28-16. Trevor's going to try and run it in there. He's into the end zone. Touchdown. A touchdown run by Trevor Lawrence, and it's a one-possession game.
Anton Harrison mic'd up against the Eagles, and there was a unfortunately eventful night for the offensive line. Anton, battling through injury, came back into that game, so we'll keep an eye on that throughout the week, see where he's at and whether he'll be able to go.
I hope next year that he can play a full year healthy, because he's a really good football player. Last year it was the shoulder, this year it's the knee, and he's a cornerstone. He's one of those guys. You may not know what you've got at left tackle, but you know what you got at right.
Or
that's important.
You might take your right and put him on the left.
He could. He played left tackle in college. Maybe he's your solution there if Walker Little isn't. Really a good football player.
Yeah, good kid too.
Yeah.
So hope he's healthy.
All right, we'll keep an eye on all things injuries, and of course we'll be back on Thursday to look at what the Vikings are going to bring to town on Sunday.